All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us here today for the second annual Sistah Summit. This year's theme is She Did That. This will be an entrepreneurial and enterprising experience honoring Madam C.J. Walker. Today we join together as sisters and sister supporters to bask in the age-old excellence that is Black female entrepreneurship. For now, please welcome our Lane Community College President, Dr. Margaret Hamilton.
Thank you. Let me undo myself. How are you all? Thank you so much and welcome to the college. So my name is Dr. Margaret Hamilton. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I am the president of Lane Community College. And yes, I'm a woman. So it's my pleasure to welcome all of you here today, where our motto is, we transform lives through learning. As a woman, it's such an honor to welcome all of you to this summit today, which is a celebration of women, and particularly women of color. You're going to learn about one of the most famous American women in all of history, Madam C.J. Walker, and I'm excited for you to learn about her. She's an entrepreneur, a philanthropist, a political and a social activist, and she was the first self-made female millionaire in this country. I mean, how awesome. Nothing was handed to Ms. Walker. This is why I love her story. She was born to recently freed slaves in the mid-1800s and then was married at 14 to escape poverty and then widowed with a child. But she persisted. She made her living first as she could, a washwoman. And from that very humble beginnings, she knew she could do better. And do you know who has a famous quote about doing better? Maya Angelou. Do the best you can until you know better. And then when you know better, do better. I encourage you to read about women who've made it, who were successful. And success doesn't always mean money, by the way. It means making a difference in the world. I encourage you to read about Madam Walker, about Maya Angelou, and other notable African-American females. And they all have passion, but they have many things in common you're going to find today. They're problem solvers. They want to make the world a better place. They have grit, they have tenacity, and they stick to it. They mentor other women. We pull each other up. We don't compete. We don't do that. Women help each other. And then they became philanthropists. That means they gave back. So I'm very excited for you today. You're here, by the way, because somebody saw something really special in you. You're here to become a leader, to learn from others. I really sincerely hope I get to see you here in a couple of years. Have a wonderful, wonderful afternoon. And thanks for being at Lane.
That was Dr. Margaret Hamilton, everybody. Let's keep going. We come together today to pay homage to those who paved the way for us here today, and to appreciate ourselves for the paths that we are currently forging for future generations. We will honor the innovative Madam C.J. Walker today through learning, laughter, love, and sisterhood. Today's events will begin with an interactive historical exploration of Madam C.J. Walker. Then we will have an impressive array of panelists to join us for a guided discussion about Black female entrepreneurship. We welcome all participants to remain active within the typing chat feature, especially with questions during the panel discussion. For now, please join me in an interactive look into Madam C.J. Walker. Again, I just want to encourage everybody that if you have comments or questions during this or about the film, to please go ahead and utilize the Zoom chat. I believe we have all of our panelists available if y'all are ready and willing to get started a little early. So we're now going to move into the panelist discussion portion of the second annual Sistah Summit. I'd like you to please welcome Tamisha Haycock Jackson, Jacqueline Madison, Lia Dunbar, and Linda Hamilton. They are for entrepreneurs or innovators or both from our community. And I now welcome each of these sisters to offer our guests some more information about themselves.
Who do you want to start first?
Whoever you would like. I believe that's Linda Hamilton, yes?
Yes.
Yeah, please go ahead. Welcome.
Okay. I'm Linda Hamilton. I live here in Eugene, Oregon. I'm from Louisiana. That is Monroe, Louisiana. I'm elected official for the 16 school districts here, representing all 16 school districts for the Lane Education Service District. I'm currently employed with the Lane County Government Administration on community corrections. I have 33 plus years in corrections, prison system, public safety. I'm also on a number of boards and commissions here in the community that I've served on in the past, as civic engagement around police commission, human rights, human service commission, University of Oregon President's Council in regards to the recruitment, hiring, and retention of Black faculty, staff, and students at the University of Oregon. And I'm the current interim president for Blacks in Government, which has been around for a long time, since 1975. It's around professional development for the Black staff and young professionals who wants to enhance in their career and build their portfolio around professional development. And I will stop there because a number of other things I've done around community service, as far as, you know, starting foundations around Oregon Black Education Foundation and women's in prisons, parental rights and whatnot. But I'm gonna stop there for now as far as introducing myself.
All right, awesome. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jackie Johnson. I'm the owner of the J Spa here in Eugene, Oregon. We are a multi-ethnic beauty supply as well as a day spa. I am also the co-founder of Sister Circle Eugene, where we are an empowerment group for women of color and young ladies of color. And we just empower, we educate, and we equip the ladies, and we try to build community here in the Eugene area. We do have an upcoming Zoom meeting about women and investing, especially right now. A lot of people have questions about what their retirement might look like after this, the COVID-19 has hit our economy. So if you're interested, I would put our email address at box here and send us an email, and we will send you an invite to that Zoom class on the 17th of May.
Thank you, Jackie. Tamisha, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi there. My name is Tamisha Hecox Jackson. I'm the chef and owner of Meat Stacks Catering. That's a business I started about 10 years ago. And I'm recent to Eugene. I've been living here now. This is coming on my 3rd year. So just really starting to get some traction. And yeah, you know, happy to be here and happy to be able to represent young Black entrepreneurs trying to make things happen.
Awesome, thank you. So we do have a 4th panelist, which is Miss Lia Dunbar, and she will be joining us shortly, but we'll go ahead and get started with the first one, and then hopefully she'll be here for the rest of that. So for anybody who doesn't know, they are referencing the film She Did That, which is available on Netflix. And it's basically just an ode to Black female entrepreneurship currently, and a little bit of backstory into how their businesses came to be. But the question for my panelists is, as referenced in the excerpt, currently Black females are the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs. Please speak to why you feel this is happening right now and what that means for the culture of business. Also, feel empowered to answer as you're inspired. We want to hear from each of you. And remember, everybody else, that you are more than welcome to contribute and participate in the chat.
I'll start. This one speaks to me particularly as an entrepreneur, starting my business, and what made me start my business in the first place is that, you know, there's so few opportunities for mentorship for Black women, you know, and if you're in a field that's white male dominated, you know, forget it. It's not even going to happen, because the level of intimidation that people have towards Black women who are powerful, who are confident, who are smart and educated and know what they're doing, those folks fear that. They don't want that. They don't want to see you come up under them, or they don't want to feel like they're going to give you an edge or a secret or something to give you the leg up. And so, you know, you're searching around blindly for some person who's going to be, you know, your leader, somebody who's going to take you to, you know, across the yellow brick road. And it's not going to happen. You have to be the person who decides that you're going to step on the path and you're going to get that rainbow and you get across it. And so, you know, that's why you're seeing this, because you'll get women of a certain age who have just been knocking on these doors, you know, going, you know, climbing these corporate ladders, or if they're in entertainment, something that they're, you know, getting a higher level, and they think, oh man, you know, oh, I'm finally earning a living wage, or I'm finally getting to the place where I have leadership role. But then ultimately you're going to get a fraction of the pay. You know, I had a job where I was basically running a multi-million-dollar account for the largest food service provider in the world. And they tried to pay me less than $20 an hour to run a staff and a program serving over 10,000 meals a day. So, you know, you sit there and you say, oh my God, can I at least get a living wage? At the time I was living in the second most expensive city in America. So, you know, you have to say to yourself, I am working, you're killing yourself. And so you say, if I would even give half of this energy to following my dream and setting aside a path for myself, I'd probably be where I wanted to be while I'm sitting here eating scraps from whoever decides that they're going to trickle me down a thing or two. And I think that that's why you see this. I know, in fact, why you see so many female entrepreneurs who've decided, you know what, I'm done with scraps. You know, you heard the girl, she was sick of, you know, running to everybody else at their beck and call and doing this and yes, chef, and that and this and that. And it's like, that's over with. You know, and so you kind of get to a point where you decide that you're going to go for the gusto and you're going to step out on faith, so to speak, yeah. And obviously backed by education, experience, you know, and the like, but you don't always have the money. So, you know, that's always a small roadblock, and you've got to find the way. But that's the main reason why you're getting this. You know, no one's willing to train us up. Yeah, we've got to train ourselves.
Absolutely. I just want to take just a moment. We were just joined by our fourth panelist, Miss Lia Dunbar. Hi, everyone. And we'll definitely get to everybody else's responses on this question. Thank you so much, Tamisha. That was eloquently said. Lia, would you like to introduce yourself to our attendees?
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm sorry I'm late. My name's Lia Dunbar, and I guess the first thing I want to say is just thank you to the organizers for coordinating this afternoon and learning, and thank you to the attendees for being here on a beautiful sunny Friday afternoon. And it's an honor to be to share this panel with the folks that are on the panel. I'm a teacher in Eugene. I guess this is my it would be, if I were teaching in a classroom right now, my 20th year teaching high school. And I teach language arts, ethnic studies, and I am the child of educators. And I am also a doctoral candidate at the University of Oregon, and I'm about to graduate in a few weeks without a commencement ceremony, but I will still get that paper, and with my twin sister, Lea Dunbar. So for those of you who recognize my face, it could be because there are two people in Eugene with my face, and the other is my twin sister. So I'll stop there.
Awesome, thank you. So I just want to repeat the question, and we'll get back into that. As was referenced in the excerpt that we just watched, currently Black females are the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs. And I ask our panelists to please speak to why you feel this is happening right now and what that means for the culture of business.
Well, can you hear me?
Yes.
Again, I was thinking, I think more and more, especially our young Black women, have learned and been encouraged, or either role model or someone mentor them, or they saw with their own vision that if they can do it, we can do it. And so more and more Black women are stepping up. And behind a Black and government organization, nonprofit, the Young Professional Development, is because a lot of us Blacks are in positions, but we can't get promoted. We just not good enough for them. They won't promote us. So like Tamisha was saying, is you do the work, but they want to pay you less. And then the ones that are getting paid a lot more are not even as educated in their credentials as some of the Blacks that are under them. And so, but they getting a lot more pay. I learned that through an incident at the University of Oregon when I was helping an African-American over there, that there's a lot of in these positions, they give them the title, but not the money. And a young male that was less educated in his credentials came in making a lot more than the Black staff, and she was a senior research analyst. So I think us Blacks, I mean, I know for me, when I'm in government, I'm established. My retirement is established, 33 years, but I see what it does to other Blacks and myself when I struggled to be promoted, that I had to fight to get promoted up higher and win a lawsuit to get there. But I see where a lot of us are cut short, and we're getting the education, we're qualified, we're experienced, but they don't want to give us the pay. So professional development is around equipping and empowering Blacks to promote and enhancing their careers. And I want to see more and more Blacks in businesses, because I think they have realized I can do that too.
Absolutely.
Should I go ahead and?
Yeah, absolutely. As y'all feel empowered, please jump in.
I am thinking a lot about just, the ways and the resilience of Black women generally, and then the ways in which we're required to step into leadership because of disenfranchisement of other folks in our communities, including, and maybe in particular, Black men as well. So, I feel like young women the young women that I teach are they're the inheritors of some very, very powerful stories that are motivating. And so instead of being disempowered, at least for me personally, like when I come into the barriers like of institutionalized racism, as I have in my profession, like that, then you find another way and go around, you find the workaround. And so I think that, there are lots of positive examples, including Madam C.J. Walker, of course, but I'm also thinking of our mothers, our grandmothers, our great-grandmothers before us that, are, we're standing on their shoulders, and so I think that that's one thing that young Black women certainly have going for them.
I will take it a step further too. I think it's about survival. We've come to a point where we can't depend on anybody. A lot of us are heads of our households. We have family to take care of, and it just comes down to doing what we have to do to make sure that we are taken care of, and there is some type of legacy that we're leaving behind. I do feel like, too, there's an empowerment culture that we've been kind of moving into as well. And that's kind of led us to this shift of us kind of being the captains of our own ship and starting these businesses and moving into these leadership roles. So I think that's definitely another thing that's kind of prompted that shift.
I am going to move into the next clip. I just want to remind all the attendees that if you have any questions or comments for our panelists, please go ahead and use the chat or the Q&A section, and I will be happy to relay those for you. All right, so as we saw mentioned in the excerpt, and I know personally to be true, our success is almost always a reflection of our chosen community, who we choose for our team and those that we surround ourselves with. What insight can you all offer to us today about the importance of our circle?
Are you there?
Mm-hmm.
I think I unmuted. Was first the importance of our circle. I'm speaking to Eugene area. I'm from Louisiana, as mentioned earlier. And as we all can see as Black women's here, Eugene, that's not many of us here. And in this community, and it's not just this community, it's in Portland too. A lot of the Blacks are divided. They can't seem to come together and work as a strong Black community family, supporting one another's back, uplifting one another, holding one another up. I had a lady even she lives in Wilsonville, but she's on the Black Pioneer organization for Oregon Black Pioneers. And she says, why are the Blacks so divided? I says, I don't know. I says, but you will know. What I can tell you is a lot of the Blacks that come here that wants to see change and that takes a stand to see change and see movement and support and move forward and start business, they're not from here. It's a different culture than the Blacks that come here from the South or from California, wherever they come from. The ones that's been born here, some know the history here and they ready for change, but then there's some, it's just different. And it takes a different, it almost take a different, not a different, I won't say different personality, but it's very different. But we need to be able to uplift one another. And I have very little patience for people. I love people, but I don't like when they can't support one another, or you support one another and then they don't support you, or too many things get started. We all need to be there for one another, help one another, support one another, and lift up one another. And survive with a smile on our face and that mask that we don't want to wear every day. But we have to, as a strong Black woman, we have to wear that mask, but we can draw our strength from that.
Absolutely, thank you. And I love the throwback reference to last year's Sistah Summit and the mask.
Well, I think the importance of a circle, it should include diversity. You definitely need some people who don't think like you, don't have the same political views as you, the same religious or socioeconomic background as you. I think when you start to bring different people and different thinking in, that's when you start to develop empathy. And that just serves everyone well. That understanding just makes it so much easier to work together and to form unities and to form community and all of that good stuff. But I'll take it another step as well. I think the circle also should include what we read, what we listen to, because all of that stuff also, it's a reflection on us, and it also, what we repeatedly hear, we start to believe. So I think we definitely need to include just positive thinking and positive well-being into our circle, not just involving people, but the things that we kind of consume.
Absolutely.
I'd like to, I guess, add on to what Linda and Jackie both have mentioned. I think that cultivating community, particularly when you are a person of color, or if you're engaged in disruptive work, which being successful as a Black person is inherently disruptive, at least in this country, and particularly in Eugene. It is so important to cultivate community and call on your colleagues and your mentors and your elders and the youth when you're struggling and need support. And I know, like, I've called on you, Siobhan, and Linda, and Dr. Rashid, to support me. And, I just think about how essential that is when things are really challenging, or when you have questions or you don't know how to navigate. And, as Linda said, I think that when you move into this community as an outsider, which also I did as well 20 some years ago, it takes some time, to find your network of support, and also kind of decide how and with whom, it is healthy to navigate. And I think that's really important too.
Definitely. Tish, you just have to, there you go.
I think it's super important that, like, Black people, we have to start, like, supporting each other in our endeavors. I cannot tell you how many, times I've been catering. I've done this business for over 8 years. I've worked in so many different arenas, and, the number of Black people that I've actually served a meal to, I can count on one hand. And I think, somehow there's some level of, distrust or something within the Black community where they don't go on the word. Madam C.J. Walker was huge because she worked the community, and they had her back, and she had theirs. And so, and when you don't have all these other options either, of course, you're going to go one way. But ultimately, it's the trust. They trusted her. They trusted that she would, make a superior product. And I don't know why people are not trusting Black women today. I don't know why somebody else will want to go buy fried chicken from somebody else than me. I don't know why people make the decisions that they make. I think so many times I look at that and I analyze and I say, if it were me and I had the option of going to a Black car auto care person or a colored, auto care person versus a white one, it's a no-brainer for me, period. I'm going there first. Unless they do me wrong, I'm sticking with it. And somehow that's missing. I come from a town in England where it's 65% Black. And it's really, we really focus on those sorts of things. When we get an opportunity to have a business, England is just like America in a lot of ways. We're not represented, in the masses. So, if I see somebody who's got a, shop open or something, I'm like, no, I'm going down there. Or a restaurant, like, nah, I ain't go to that chippy. Right? And that is something that I think that as a small community here in Eugene, you have to work closer to get to. And it is that trust. It's being able to say, hey, this sister is doing such and such. This brother's doing such and such. Why don't you come down and check it out? And don't just give it lip service. Go check it out. And say, hey, I had that sister's food, or I had that brother's car who fixed my ride. I'm good with that. Or I had that brother who did the dry cleaning for me, and I'm sticking with him. So I think that these circles, we have to create them. They're not there for us. I've lived in a lot of towns, and I've lived in a couple of different countries, and it isn't there. So if all of us who are very conscious of this, we have to be practicing it and living it. And then I think it becomes a reality.
Absolutely. We're doing pretty good on time right now, and we have a question from the chat. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this out before we move into the third prompt. But this question is from Olivia Moriguchi, a student at Lane Community College, and excellent Sistah, who's very involved with the BSU, and one of my favorite people. She asks, do you think religion gets in the way of Black women supporting each other? That is an interesting twist from this.
I don't think religion get in the way of Black women supporting each other. I don't even think it get in the way national or anything. And to speak local, I do think local now. There's a lot of Black little churches here local that I can see that happening. Yes, if you're not at that church, yes, I can see that happening local. That's a good question. Yes, for my 20, I moved here April of 1990. Yes, I can see that happening. That can get in the way of Black women's being successful here, as well as Black men. Sometimes the churches can divide and not support, but support the ones that are at their church versus support as a whole.
Does anybody else want to add on to that? Have any thoughts?
I just appreciate the question because I think that it is a really good one. I'm not a member of any particular congregation here in Eugene, but I do think that often, in communities where, some folks think that, that there's some judgment involved, and I think that can be a barrier, but if folks are practicing compassion and I think living, the vision to the vision. Oops, sorry. Let me do that.
This is our new normal.
Sorry about that. Mostly I don't know how to manage all of my different devices, and so it really is. That's my daughter. She's very persistent. I hope she doesn't go back, at least right now. So, I guess, Olivia, to your question, it shouldn't. That's the short answer, right? But it does at times.
Absolutely. We have another question from the chat, and this one is from Naya Ross. I suggest everybody get your pens and paper out because I think this will have some, well, not the panelists, everybody else. I think y'all will have some really good insight to this. The question is, how can I find more Black-owned businesses in Eugene?
Well, I'll answer that. Right now, Sistah Circle Eugene is trying to put together, we are putting together a website where we have a resource page that will list all of the Black-owned businesses here in Eugene. So if you would like to, if you know some businesses and you would like to send it our way, please definitely send it to sisterscircleeugene@gmail.com. I'll put it in the chat box there, and we'll add it to the reference guide. So we are working on that, and hopefully we will have the website launched the second half of this month. So
I think that would be very helpful to have in this community. And more than once, someone has started on that project about getting a book, a director with all the Black, you know, where you can get your hair supplies, Black businesses, Black products for your hair. And that was started at University of Oregon with the Black Strategist Group. When they first started that Black Strategist Group about 6-7 years ago now. And then the person ended up getting a job in California. So I don't know what happened to that. Where is it at now? But that is something that's needed, because until this Sister Summit, I've never met the young lady with the Black business of catering, cooking. I only know her Robin Woods. And when she first started, I helped her get her business started in almost catering and gave her her first gig at the Martin Luther King celebration. So I've never even met this young lady. And here she is talking about, you know, fried chicken. Oh yeah, I want to try it.
Absolutely. All right. So I'm sorry, I was trying to send out that Sister Circle text. We are going to move into our third and final clip. So what I really love about that is we are honoring Madam C.J. Walker, but we got to honor a lot of other women who have been instrumental in this movement. My question for the panelists is, for so long, Black women have been disenfranchised by not having the necessary tools and support needed for success and comfort. How has that shaped business today? And what are your thoughts on how Sistahs have created opportunity through adversity?
Can you read that again? Can you
Absolutely.
read that again?
Yeah, I'm happy to. So for so long, Black women have been.
I go.
Sorry?
No.
Oh, okay. For so long, Black women have been disenfranchised by not having the necessary tools and support needed for success and comfort. How has that shaped business today? And what are your thoughts on how Sistahs have created opportunity through adversity?
I think, you know, we're so resilient, so strong because of always hitting the roadblock. There's always something, and we have to swallow these jagged pills all the time and then buck up, you know, pull up our bootstraps and say, you know what, okay, I lost that fight, the war's not over, and you have to just keep pushing. And I think that's something about us, you know, when you see these homages to Sojourner Truth and these folks. I mean, my God, she escaped slavery. If our ancestors can do that, then we're able to fight and to look at everything that they hit us with, whether they're, you know, whether it's going to be, they don't want us because we're female, they don't want us because we're Black, they don't want us because we're gay, they don't want us because we're strong. Whatever it is, we still stay true to ourselves and we still pump it, and we circumnavigate all of that bigotry and prejudice with our magic, our charisma, you know, our upward thinking, our positivity, and our humor and laughter. And that's how we just overcome all the time. And I think that the level of humility we all have, knowing that we're going to have to put up with some, you know what, to get through to where we need to be. We're more willing to put up with stuff more than I have ever met with any other white counterpart, any other culture that I've been involved with. Black women, we put up with it and we manage. And because we manage, and not only manage, we step above it all, and we can look to where we can see the light at the end of the tunnel. And that faith, that hope, that strength, that's the thing that keeps us pumping. That's the thing that, despite all the odds, if you want to make it, you're going to make it. Full stop.
I think it's,
Linda, I think she's allowing you to.
oh, okay. Thanks for saying what you just said around, you know, we can make it, we thrive. But I think some of the young Black sisters, and I'm going to say brothers too now, but we're talking about Black sisters today, you know, have had to come up against some obstacles or situation in life that has put a liberation thriver in them. I think that they can do better, and that I am going to be somebody. Whether it's looking back and seeing the struggles our ancestors, families, friends, loved ones have gone through, and you want something better for yourself. So we come out more thriving to be better than our peoples, but we want to keep our people alive. We want to keep them alive so that they know they can be better than what they've gotten or where they're at or where they're trying to go. But I also have to tell the sisters that you have to see yourself that nobody is better than you as a human being. No other sister is better than you as a human being. Whether that sister have the fine clothes, jewelry, fine body, beauty, and all that, no human being is better than another human being. You can have all the fine jewelry and the fine cars and the fine house, but you can be miserable. But sometimes sisters get knocked down, they envy and they jealous of one another, but they got to understand within themselves, there's no human being better than them or any other human being. And they want to try to thrive to be better, and you have to be driven. And nowadays we're making our own opportunity. And so that's what I say off to the sister. Make your own opportunities, because we haven't had the success and we haven't had the support and we haven't had I think the opportunity been there. And I tell people all the time, there's a lot of opportunities in Oregon. A lot. We just got to tap in. That's a lot of opportunities.
I don't have a lot to add to what Linda and Tamisha said. I was super inspired by those words. But I'm thinking that, of course, the market has been shaped by disenfranchisement and, you know, the keeping Black women out. And I think it's very, you know, deliberate, because I think that now we can kind of see, like, you really can't compete. I mean, look at Beyonce. You know, once Black women enter the space, like, no one else has a chance. There's that. You know, we saw recently that Honey Pot company, the woman who had her products in Target, and then she was targeted by some white women, and then everybody like came in solidarity and support this Black woman's company. And so I think that that's really essential, that we look at the examples that exist right now for Black women, and especially entrepreneurs. I mean, I'm an educator, which is not the most entrepreneurial, I guess, in a traditional way, but I have carved out space for the curriculum that I teach that wasn't there previously. And, I think that, it's from, asking for support and looking for the examples of folks who have been successful before me. And, I'm inspired by all of those Black women success stories that are out there. And that's what Black women have always done, is carved out advantage from disadvantage. That's what we came to do.
I also think too that because we're in a day and age of information is just so readily available, I think we've kind of taken it into our own hands of seeking out information and finding things for ourselves. And I think another thing is I wanted to say to young women who are thinking about going into entrepreneurship is don't be afraid to ask for help. There are so many resources out there that we can take advantage of. Like for myself, I'm currently in my 3rd year of a small business management program that's at the LCC downtown campus. And it's one of the best classes I've ever taken in my whole life. I've learned so much about business and employees and those relationships, but also check into, the SCORE office. There's a Mercy Corp Northwest that are strictly for women entrepreneurship, and it can give you startup grants and things of that nature. So just trying to find more information, I think that is, and doing your homework. Take your time, don't rush into things. I think that's what's making us successful and getting over those humps, because we're going into it prepared and organized, and I think that's that's the first step.
Thank you. I always forget. We have a question from the audience, which is from one of our brothers watching. What are the ways in which Black brothers can continue to support our sisters?
You Black brothers can continue to support your sister by being there on their shoulders, right hand, left hand, sisters, brothers, being there for your sisters, lifting up your sisters, and be a brother to your sister. Treat your sister the way you would want to be, as if they're your brother. As my mom said, a man will treat a woman the way he treat his mother. So, and if you got a mother like my mother, you're going to treat that woman like a queen. That's why this password into this group today is queens. So be there, support them. And they'll support you. But with every good Black man, there's a strong Black woman. I'm going to leave it at that.
All right, drop the mic there.
I have like a really unique situation because I only have brothers, and I really attribute everything that I am to them. They always treated me equal, and they still do. And so in everything, and there's no sun setting on their sister. I'm a little sister of 2 and a bigger sister of 1. And if I were to step in on a conversation about them talking about me, you would think I was the Queen of England. Those guys love me so wholeheartedly and respect me. And also, like I said, they put me on their level since young days. So when I've gone into challenging environments and having to go face to face, toe to toe with men, whether they be white men, Black men, whoever, and stand my ground and be able to assert myself and my skills, my knowledge, my education, I have that confidence and zero fear because of the way that they always made me their equal. And that's my sort of advice to all of the Black men if you watch that Madam C.J. Walker film that they had on the Netflix, you know, there was a lot of sexism still with the Black community, males versus female, and you know, and that's not where we need to be. And because I have been able to have the privilege of never ever having that, it is all of who I am. It's all my fiber, and it makes me even stronger all the time. And every time I've had to battle something, I say that's because I got brothers who are tough, and they made me tough. And so that's what I would say for all those brothers out there. Help us be tough.
Absolutely.
I think one way, guys, Black men can support us, definitely by actually finding out who are the female business owners here and supporting us, and come in and visit and see what we possibly have to offer you or your family members. Another thing is maybe just sitting down, having a conversation with us. I feel like Black men here and Black women, there's a disconnect. And I think there's just not enough conversations being had. And I think just starting a conversation and just saying hello, I mean, those are the first steps to anything, so.
For sure.
Along those lines, I saw, I can't remember whether it was a meme or a piece, like a written piece around people doing their own healing before they get involved in other people's lives, at least on a relationship, intimate relationship level. And I think that, you know, as women, I've had to learn not to want to heal other people. Like, it's not my job to heal my man. He has to do his own work. And, you know, once he's done that, and as he's doing that, then that makes it a lot easier for us to amplify each other's light. And so that's really kind of the lesson that I'm thinking about, like, right now.
Absolutely. We have another question from an LCC student. What obstacles were in your way to get where you as sisters are today? How did you personally overcome those barriers?
For one, I wanted out of Louisiana. That's how bad I wanted out. So I wanted out, and I wanted something better for myself. I was 12 siblings, and I was number 7, and I still call myself the lucky number 7 because I was the only one left Louisiana at a young age. Some have moved to Texas now, but you have to want something better than what you got. And the humid in the Louisiana and the cotton fields and out there in the hot, humid sun, and I knew that had to be something better. And so the obstacles I faced was with leaving Louisiana, thinking it was only ignorant out there of racism, but coming to Oregon, realized it's even worse. And there's no Black people. I felt alone in my classrooms and whatnot. And so my obstacle was, you know, how am I gonna navigate and work and get around and develop my allies with the whites out here, you know? And so I had to connect. So a lot of my allies are white allies. You know, you look around, that's what's happening in Oregon. That's what's getting there. That's what's making things happen. But we can do the same if we elbow with the right allies. And so once I got where I am, my first thing I wanted was a government job, because I saw what government was, where the money was, and where the people was. You know, it's not always where the money was, but I got that government job and been in that government job. So my obstacles, I didn't have many obstacles once I got my job, but the biggest obstacle was overcoming racism. You never really overcome racism. You just really deal with it. So I got a lot of deep down roots from the South and a lot of racism incidents that I battled and fought. even from coming to Louisiana, but landing in Oregon, but most of them been in Oregon. So that's one of the biggest obstacles. So we're coming in and not let racism stop you, but let it thrive you. And what I mean by that, let it just liberate you, young Black women, and just keep your people alive, and just keep going and motivate one another. You know, sometimes our biggest problems, obstacles, is each other. And so we gotta motivate each other. I mean, I you know, if they don't want to motivate you, don't let the negative bring you down, but keep your vision, keep your focus, and be encouraged to start your own business. If you have a desire, you can get there. All you need is a desire and a vision.
I've got another question that says, Chef, how can I order some fried chicken, mac and cheese, and peach cobbler?
We're going to order some today.
Honestly, that would be great.
Well, unfortunately, you have missed the vote on my Mother's Day dinner that I am delivering on Sunday, that has barbecue beef brisket, mac and cheese, and a nice North Carolina style coleslaw with a strawberry pound cake. You missed out on that one, but there will be more. I'm planning to start doing maybe weekly or bi-weekly meal deliveries for families where they can order online on my website and be able to get a meal. So you have to stay tuned for that. I don't particularly specialize in fried chicken, but we do love it. We know it's a delicacy. So visit MicheJacksCatering.com to find out what events are happening and what I'm up to. And you can also visit me on the Facebook at Miche Jacks Catering.
Awesome. Do you mind, can you type that out in the chat for us? That would be awesome. So those are all the questions that I have for you, and it doesn't seem like we have anything going on in the queue. So as we get into closing up here, we do have a little trivia to give away some prizes, so that will be coming up shortly. I believe there is a survey that the LCC students will be sending out to all attendees and panelists. I'm not sure when that will become available, but let's see. I want to share my screen really quickly because I've got some information up here for everybody. Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, great. So, and can you see these two documents?
I see, yes. Mother's Day and Sistah Summit Barbecue.
Yeah. Okay, so the NAACP is one of the sponsors for this event, and they would like us to invite everybody here to the 2020 Mother's Day and Sistah Summit Barbecue, which will be tomorrow from 12 to 2. We will make this available through the chat, I believe. I think Deontay is working on that. And I think Dr. Rashid is going to share the address for the MIMS house. It's not super legible here. I think it's 330 High Street.
Yes.
And so they have a drive-through pickup barbecue prepared in order for you to pick that up. And then this is an advertisement for Straight Outta Soul Food. I'm just going to check the chat one more time. We've got something in the Q&A. Okay. So I have a question. It's kind of lengthy. So if I need to repeat it, I'm happy to. From Amy Nakulma, who said, I had a discussion with a sister who was angry at a brother that was defending his girlfriend from another cultural background on Facebook. The brother said that some of our sisters are sometimes confusing emancipation with rebellion in the household. My question is, what do you think about emancipation in a Black household? This might be unrelated to what we are talking about currently, but I would like your perspectives in order to perceive the limits of mine. I'll read that again. So I had a discussion with a sister who was angry at a brother that was defending his girlfriend from another cultural background on Facebook. The brother said that some of our sisters are sometimes confusing emancipation with rebellion in the household. The question is, what do you think about emancipation in a Black household?
Well, I guess my mute wasn't off here. That's an interesting question. Because some Black parents will tell you, you don't need emancipation, just leave, just go. If I'm thinking right. But that's hard. That's a very difficult situation, because I think in Oregon they allow that at age 15. So, but in a Black household, I've been to court once, and that was back in 1991, of a young Black male. His mom came here, and he was wanting to be here with his dad family, and they were both Black family, and they went to court, and he was 15, and it was for the emancipation that his mother couldn't take him back to California. But I don't have a personal opinion on that. I don't know. I guess I better shut up. I'm gonna turn this off.
I typed it into the chat. I think I have an opinion about that perspective from the brother, because to me, it sounds as if there is a stereotype that he's ascribing to Black women that I'm personally not very comfortable with, and I think that everyone needs to be emancipated in our homes, not subjugated. And Black women have a right to assert their autonomy and speak up and challenge their partners and not be subservient in any way. And if that is perceived as rebellion, then it might be rebellion.
Rebel.
Rightfully so.
All right. Well, as we are closing up, if anybody has any other questions, speak now or forever hold your peace. But I just want to thank you all so much for joining us today. This has been enlightening and amazing for me. Hearing all of your different perspectives. We recorded it, so I'll be listening back to all of your wise words and taking notes later this evening. That's what I will be doing. In addition to thanking all of our panelists today, I want to thank our president, or the LCC president, Dr. Margaret Hamilton, again for coming and speaking with us. Thank the NAACP for supporting us, the Lane ESD navigators for everything that they did. I want to thank, of course, the Lane Community College, BSU, for organizing and working so hard on this. Dr. Rashid is awesome and is great. And thank you to everybody who came and attended and showed support. We appreciate it so much, and we could not do this without y'all. It's great to see communities still finding ways to come together in this adversity and just kind of moving things around and figuring it out. So I'm really proud of everybody involved. We do have 2 prizes to give away. And to give those prizes away, we are going to ask some questions. Let's see, they were sent to me. I believe one of them is, what does the CJ stand for in Madam CJ Walker? So whoever is first to respond in the chat.
that Charles Joseph? Did you hear me?
I'm like checking. I don't even know.
I think it's Charles Joseph.
The participants.
Oh, it's for the participants only. Sorry, I did not know that. All right, we've got Layla with Charles Joseph. And then
Linda with Charles. Oh, so she got it in the audience. Gotcha.
and then who was the first female bank owner?
Black female.
Excuse me, first Black female bank owner. Drum roll. All right, we've got Carmen Myers with Maggie Lena Walker. That is correct. So that is all of the programming that we have for you. Everybody is more than welcome to stay. If you guys want to add any closing remarks, that would be great. Oh wait, we've got a question.
Just something.
Okay, so my question is, I was born in Liberia, but was adopted by a white family in America at a young age. So I was wondering, I feel like I have a foot in both culture and have a hard time feeling totally accepted by either one. How do you guys comment with that? Or what input would you guys have for me for that?
Rebecca, I had like a really, really super hard time with that, having that duality of like being English and being American. And it plagued me for years because, you know, Black American people didn't wanna accept me, and then, you know, and they see me as something other. Whereas in England, I wasn't born there, so I wasn't culturally English as well. So I understand that duality. And so what I did to be able to like make it and determine like how it's going to get through is simply by just do you, you know, do who you are, no exceptions and no fear. If people don't understand who you are or a box or put you into a category because it's not comfortable for them, that's not your problem. That's their problem. You need to just be proud of who you are and what you represent, because a lot of times what we represent is so much bigger than just a religion, a culture, a color, or any of those things, or a country for that matter. Hold on to those things that Liberia made you, and hold on to those things that America made you. You don't have to compromise, and you don't have to get rid of one or the other. And I learned that, and I let them come together and meld together as one piece. And I really just consider myself a citizen of the world. And if people, you know, can't get with that, too bad. That's their problem. You know, you have a very special heritage, and be proud of it, and don't let anybody shake you from it.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
All right, we've got one more question, and then I'll take some closing remarks from our panelists, and then we're going to wrap up. So, how does one manage the dichotomy of being a Black woman raised in a white culture? I am Black and white. I've lived in Oregon my entire life. I exist as a Black woman raised with white ideals and culture. This is from Maisie Davis.
I can relate to Maisie's experience being biracial. And I do think that, the dominant culture is white culture in the United States. And so it's always imperative upon us to research who our ancestors are, what our stories are, what our values are. I mean, just generally speaking, because we all have been colonized to a certain extent because of being educated in a white supremacist society. So there's that piece. Managing the dichotomy of it is, I think, the art form of being human just generally. We're always learning about who we are, and there are role models and people who have gone before. That's kind of a theme of mine. That's probably why I teach literature and story. Because those are roadmaps that can help us, when we are struggling with our own identities. So, yeah.
All right, awesome, thank you. And again, I just want to thank everybody for coming. If y'all have any closing remarks that you would like to leave our attendees with, I would really appreciate it. I'm sure they would as well. Maybe reiterate your business names and websites so that they can make sure they've gotten that information, and just give a quick goodbye or projects that you have going on.
Well, I will say goodbye first. Of course, my name is Jackie Johnson again. I'm the owner of the J Spa. We are a multi-ethnic beauty supply as well as a day spa. We will start reopening the retail and the beauty supply portion of things. So if you're looking for any hair products or any skincare products, we will be opening the 15th. We still won't be able to offer any services, but we will be open for the retail portion of the business. Again, Sister Circle, we do have a Sister Circle meeting. It will be a Zoom meeting on the 17th of May at 3 p.m. And we will be talking about women and investing. This is going to cover investing in your teens, investing in your 20s, and all through the stages of your life. We'll be discussing retirement and what's going on in the economy as well. And then just all the little questions that you have about finance. We have a really great speaker that will be talking to us on the 17th. So like I said, I put my email address in the chat box. So if you wanted to be sent an invite to that, definitely send me an email and we will send it out to you. Thank you for having us. Thank you for listening. And we'll see you next time.
Thank you, Jackie.
I'm Linda Hamilton, intern president for Blacks in Government. You can reach me at the Blacks in Government number, the 541-852-9782, or the Lane ESD. Appreciate the ESD navigators being a part of this. And you can reach me through the Lane ESD or through the email, linlin991@msn.com. Other than that, if you're having a public safety, police matters, discrimination matters in the workplace, those are my specialty. So you can reach me on those matters too, through Blacks in Government number.
Thank you, Linda.
And mentorship, professional mentorship.
I guess my final thoughts are that the pandemic has offered us an opportunity to educate ourselves. And so I urge you to take advantage of being liberated from the brick and mortar school buildings and seek out the real education that is available at our fingertips and with our neighbors and our elders and our community members, like this Sistah Summit right here. And take good care. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Leah.
Well, thank you for having me. I am again Chef Tamisha Ecox Jackson of Misha's Catering. Check us out on the web. We're always got something going on. Stay tuned for weekly meals, family meals being delivered with all sorts of various different delights. Somebody mentioned gumbo. You never know. That might be something we'll be doing pretty soon because it's easy to deliver and it's comforting during these troubled times. I am usually a big event caterer, and of course those big events are no longer. So, if you've got a small family gathering and you need a caterer, look me up. And I've got very reasonable rates. And we strive for perfection on all levels. This is no hop time with Misha's Catering. And lovely to meet all of the panelists and be able to talk with the students. And I know that one lucky somebody is going to be winning the Mother's Day dinner delivered on Sunday. So thanks again.
Thank you all so much. And thank you everybody for coming. Stay safe. Have a great day, y'all.
Thank you, and thank you for facilitating this.
Absolutely. My pleasure.